good evening. Welcome to Let's Talk. And um, one of our, I would say, great shows that we do, a great collaboration, a great friendship, is our conversation with friends. And we haven't been on for a while. However, that's not going to discourage us from moving forward and starting season three. And tonight's episode to start off season three is the thankful episode. Um, During this time of the year, we know that a lot of people go through a lot of different things, and holiday season for some people who celebrate holidays, opportunity for gatherings, a lot of social events. So tonight we're gonna have a conversation, Melodic and myself, on what are you thankful for. And I'm quite sure you guys haven't seen it, so we probably got a lot of stuff we can thank you for. So, what's up, Melodic?
What's up, Q?
What's going on?
Season 3. Back
Yes,
at
yes,
it.
yes. So, how's
Ah,
everything going?
everything is going well. I'm happy to be here, that's for sure. Um, this took a lot of planning on our parts.
Yeah. You know what it is that a lot of times life, you
Absolutely.
know what I mean? You know, so I guess even just to talk about it during our show, talk about what are we thankful for. Sometimes you just gotta just be thankful for life, the little things and the small things, but just the little things like
Yes, indeed.
prior to going live, I was having computer problems. I had told you one thing on the phone that I was going to be behind studio around 4:30
Uh-huh.
before we went live. I don't know what was happening. It was taking forever to run. Then I had to shut down. Then it told me it couldn't connect to my internet, which I'm
Okay.
hardwired to my internet. And then I got on before you, and then you had a little bit of issues coming on. So
For sure.
I say that to say sometimes we take for granted the small things that allow us to do our day to day life.
Indeed.
One of the things that I always try to remind myself, I live big because of where I live in the sticks and the type of work that I do sometimes.
Mhm.
That half of this country don't have internet service. And it sounds crazy every time I think about it. Like, we take advantage of our high speed internet. We're so used to just being able to get information and do stuff so quick on the go, like, doing stuff at home on our computer whenever we want to.
Yep.
And half of the country don't have that privilege that we have. So just being thankful for that. And,
Right.
it's always a lot of things. I'm quite sure you had a list of things that you wanted to discuss, but just
Oh,
being just that access, right? Just having that access, like, okay, I'm preparing to do this. I have it here.
indeed.
Opposed to maybe 15 years ago, you would have had a hard copy, but it makes it easier to have it digital. Got
Yep.
it digital, get to it real quick, right? Then life happens, and then you don't be able to move the way you want to move. Like, for
Right.
example, you couldn't get to your computer quick enough, and then it's like, oh, it's on my phone. So I'm trying to do two things at once, and just like, so just being thankful for those small things
Yes, indeed.
is important for us, no matter what. For me, I know definitely for you, no matter what we go through in life. Last week, I lost my cat,
Oh,
and
wow. I'm sorry to hear that.
I thought I had told you. And I apologize for not telling
No,
you.
you did
But
not.
the cat has been so integral in me living here. The cat has always been heard in the shows a lot. A lot of people always hear my cat when he want water. But he had got sick and he just was suffering too much. I mean, you know, and I didn't realize how attached I was to my cat.
Okay.
I thought it was more okay. That's just my cat. It's just a pet. I was
Right.
really, really
That was a
emotionally.
family member.
Yeah, he emotionally attached. Like, how they say, "Good evening, Nicole." I was more attached to him than I thought I was,
Hey, Nicole.
and having him, you know, not here and it's so quiet. It's like, Dad, where my boy at?
Right.
And
Exactly.
so I'm getting another cat, right?
Okay.
So I should be getting another cat soon this week. So yesterday when I talked to you on the phone, we were having
Okay.
a conversation. I was actually at the cat store
At the cat store.
because I was at Petco, so I got rid of everything because I believe my emotional attachment to my cat was not only to him but to everything that I accumulated for him.
Right.
So I'm getting another cat, so I threw away everything, litter
Oh,
box, everything. So I got a whole new
okay.
stuff. So I'm in a Petco getting the scratchy thing, got the scratchy thing.
The scratchy thing.
So I'm like,
Okay.
okay. And then I got him a little bed, little nice little bed. Then
Okay.
I'm getting a litter box, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get a little bit of food and see how this particular cat likes this food because my other cat I had dry food. So this cat I'm gonna do dry food and wet food.
Okay.
So I got him a little fountain for his water because animals like flowing water.
Right.
So it just was a little bit more emotional
Right.
than I expected, and I'm like, oh my god, I was really attached to this first cat. My first cat's name was Spanky. I was like, yo, I was really attached to Spanky, yo. Like, so now I know that this cat that I'm getting is a boy. I
Hmm.
got to think of a name for him, so I'm trying to think of a name. I used to like Sabrina the Witch, so I might name him Sebastian.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, I might name him Sebastian.
That's a cool. That's a cool name. You can
Yeah.
call him
And
that.
plus, what's funny about it is that's my son's dog's name, Sebastian.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
just a funny thing. My uncle had a cat, and they used to call the cat TC the cat. And I was like, TC, where did you get that name from? And he was like, oh, that means the cat.
So TC the cat.
Yes.
Wow.
Hmm. The
You
cat, the
really
cat.
do get. What's crazy is that wasn't my first cat. I had a dog when I was a kid. I think the dog ran outside when I was a kid and got hit by a car and nobody told us. But
Okay.
it just disappeared.
Right.
So my other cat we had to get rid of because we got a dog.
Okay.
This joker, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how I got attached to this cat like this. And then
Okay.
I had one prior to him getting sick. It was two other moments. It was one time he got missing in my house. I couldn't find him for a while. He was hiding. And
Mm-hmm.
believe it or not, this is when I think he first got sick, and I just ain't noticed it. Prior to that, when he had got his procedure done,
Mm-hmm.
cats go into defensive mode. So he got defensive. He was looking at me like I did something to him when I ain't do the procedure, dude. Like,
Okay.
and then he started getting bigger, and just you just don't if you have an animal, I'm quite sure anybody that has an animal ever had an animal,
Right.
that experience definitely as you get older, I believe that experience is a little bit different than most experiences. So
Oh, for sure. And I mean, let's be very honest here. Some people think of their pets as family members.
mhm.
And again, as you stated in the beginning of the podcast, this time of year, people are holding on to memories, family members who have passed away that were near and dear. And sometimes those animals bring such comfort. So again, sometimes they can be considered, part of the family. Like,
Yeah.
I know so many people that are extremely attached to their pets. I personally am not a pet person, but I understand the attachment, and I think it's pretty dope.
So what I'm gonna ask you this question. This is kind of like a rhetorical question for
Okay.
both of us. Let's tell everybody that has been supportive of what we do with Conversations with Friends. Like where have we been, and how it ties with being thankful. Where we know we just disappeared off the scene. Like probably people were probably like, "Yo, what's up?" They just scrapped the show.
Okay.
Um,
No, we're not. No, we did not scrap the show. We're not scrapping the show. We're not planning on scrapping the show. I feel like conversations with friends, I think to a certain extent, it's therapeutic for myself and for you. Um, I think that,
so you saying I need therapy?
I think everybody needs a little bit of therapy, honestly. But I think we've had a lot of stuff going on in life, just in general. Everybody gets busy. Everybody gets a little overwhelmed sometimes. I had been sick for a while, and I'm back at it again. I keep pushing. I know that you had a lot going on as well.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I believe for what we do with conversations with friends is it may appear like for example, let me just give people in the chat some background. This is particularly your baby. You came up with the name Conversations with Friends,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that when two people decide, and we talk about podcasts and doing a show together, two people decide to do something,
Mm-hmm.
you have to consider a lot of things. You have to consider: are y'all just doing a podcast? What's it based on? What's the subject matter? Are y'all going to have online chemistry,
Right.
which cannot be forced, even if the person is your personal friend?
Right.
And one of the things that has happened is not only just through the show, but through life in general, we have developed a closer friendship.
Indeed. Indeed.
And that having that friendship and having a I always call it relationships. And a lot of people take relationships and say, oh, it's got to be a personal relationship. All relationships are personal, and you have to foster it, you have to feed it, you have to nurture it, you have to be able to show up for people, and you have to expect them to do that for you.
Absolutely.
And one of the first conversation or show that we did, we talk about boundaries is, I always go back to that show because it basically was the template for not just the show, but our friendship and understanding boundaries. Or like, if I say to you, for example, if I tell you some personal stuff, you kind of could figure out if I just want you to listen
Right.
or I want your input and feedback.
Yeah, you got to know
And
your audience. That's for sure.
well, well, sometimes we could do that for a show, but sometimes I may call you and just want to just vent,
Right.
and you be like, okay, 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 and then I may call you and really want to hear what you got to say because I may need a decision made based off of the information or the advice that you're giving me.
Agree.
So having that type of chemistry
Right.
was is integral to have with not just doing a show. Anybody could do a podcast, for lack of better words, and talk about a subject that's out there and give opinions on it, and it could be a good show. I always try to tell people I'm a podcast listener, a podcast watcher, so I always think a lot of the content that content creators are putting out there is relatively good. I never say nobody is bad
Right.
because that's online chemistry, but having that offline chemistry and ideas, thoughts, what's going on, and then having those hiatuses. Because sometimes we take hiatuses. For example, a person to take a hiatus, be like, I'm going through something.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, the other person, because you may not be willing to share with me what you're going through,
Mm-hmm.
right, wrong, or indifferent. And I could say, well, we do shows together. I'm taking it so personal. Well, I'm like, F it. I throw in the towel and be like, you know what? She don't want to tell me what's going on. F everything. Because we have this type of sabotaging thoughts sometimes based off of a prior experience or based off of just anything. We are who we are. I mean,
I think I've talked you off the cliff a few times, friend.
and that's important. That's important that having that baseline
Right.
understanding of like, yo, like this is what, because sometimes having a vision for something,
Right.
when you have a partner, you
Mm.
have to understand it. Your vision could be beneficial to everybody,
Agree.
but your partner may not be there right now.
Right.
And they may not understand or see the benefit long term that you see. And you like, nah, I'm not ready to commit to doing what needs to be done for that vision. I'm not there.
Right.
And in the, as we would say, our hiatus with the shows, I went through stuff, not good or bad, but everything is a learning experience. And it's
Agree.
just about just like being there, thankful. Like, as they say, you can only be where your 2 feet are at.
Mhm.
Can't be behind you, can't be in front of you. You're just there. And
Right.
understanding like, yo, let's just, being thankful for that, being thankful for that, the moment, being in the moment. Because I could cry to you today about my back hurt. Got to go, to the plantation tomorrow morning. I'm tired of it. I'm gonna be in the middle of the woods in the Poconos. I'm tired of working out there. It's cold. I'm tired of
Mhm.
my. I could tell you all the things that you may or may not want to hear about why or what I'm upset about or what's going on. But at the end of the day, just thankful.
For sure, for sure. Thankful, grateful. Let's talk about the just the meaning of grateful in general. Feeling or showing an appreciation of kindness towards something or someone. I think that we don't take enough time out to stop and smell the roses. That's one. Um, excuse me, too. I think that we take many, many things for granted. I feel like we have a plethora of things available to us, like you said, like the internet, entertainment, etc. I think a lot of people are going out now, right now, shopping and getting ready for the holiday season, and they never take the time out to just stop and be thankful for the simple things like um, when I wake up every morning, I thank God that I was on the wake up list. I'm thankful that you allowed me to open my eyes this morning. Um, I think that also once you go through, I mean, as we get older and we mature and you go through certain things in life, you learn not to take that for granted, especially if you've experienced a lot of loss. I think that lost loss, grieving, etc., brings a lot into perspective for us as human beings. And I've actually my family has had some loss this year. Um, that was a very devastating for my family, and we've been pushing through that as well. Uh,
Yeah.
but just opening your eyes on a daily basis is an absolute blessing, and we should all be thankful and grateful for it.
Yeah, one of the things that I think is the misnomer or misconception that a lot of us have is not fully understanding that you can be on social media, you can know what's going on with social media, but not living in social media.
Right.
Um, Sometimes we always look at ourselves and be like, could I survive with a camera around me at all times or my name in the spotlight at all? You talk about a celebrity. Just look at a celebrity, and I know I need everybody to bear with me while I explain why I'm saying what I'm saying. A celebrity, literally, just say a particular website got camera guys, got journalists that follow them when they go grocery shopping.
Hmm.
Like you can't even go buy cereal or get some fruit without somebody flashing the camera,
Right.
not
I can imagine.
respecting your personal bound. Now we could say, "Oh, you're in the limelight." But at the end of the day, just think about it. They don't have a boundary,
Right.
and I say that I bring it forth to us is being able to see that. Sometimes we look at celebrities and we get caught up with trying to compare ourselves with them and use them as the measuring stick, which is really a dangerous thing, and we should never look up to a celebrity
Right.
because I think when we see their faults, we don't realize that these people are everyday people exactly like us.
Well, they're
They have
human.
good
They're
days,
human.
bad days, and they have more access to their vices.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So you could develop into a person that's ungrateful. You could develop into a person that your vices are turned up so high that now like you start to have this attitude like you can't be touched. And in the midst of that, you become something that you so far
Mhm.
off of your moral compass that now you like, oh,
Right.
I
I
became
think
I
Biggie said
became
it best. More money, more problems.
you know what, Nick? And I always try to say because we quantify money because a person may make $1 million a year doing whatever they're doing, and they may be perfectly content with that, and they be able to do everything they ever wanted to do with $1 million a year. So then you may say you make the person that got $10 million a year, they may be able to do everything they want to do, and you can't compare when you're looking at their money instead of just what they're doing with their money, how they going about it, right?
Right.
So I always say to myself, do people crave money or do people crave access? Because I think it's the access that gets people, the access to things, the access to, for lack of better words, and I'm gonna just use an example, for a lot of the men that may not be married or just doing whatever they're doing, when they get access, they get access to a bunch of women. It's just what it is, and it's like a, heavy is the head that wears the crown. Because now you got access. Now you better be very, very
Careful.
crafty and careful of what you're doing.
Absolutely.
If you're
You have
doing,
access, but do you really have love? Do you really have admiration?
yeah,
And you also have to, when you have that access and you have that money, you have to be very careful with the people that you have around you because everybody's not there for you. And that's even with someone who doesn't have money.
and
So,
then you have the celebrity who literally has what we would say everything, but don't got no social media, and then people want to know why because of the
right.
access. You allow a certain amount of access in. So I say that all that to say is that I'm thankful for the happiness that I have created. Um,
Absolutely.
for most people, if I was to compare what I do with most people, I would say that my life is utterly a bore.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm content with what I do every single day, most of the days.
Mm-hmm.
I literally am one of them type of people. I stay in my lane, and my lane is my lane.
Right.
I don't need outside things to justify who I am, what I want to do. It's a lot of things that I want to do sometimes when I be sitting in the house,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't do because people just aren't available, which is okay.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you see so many people that are just not happy and not content and not thankful
Right.
for what they do got because they, let's face it, society kind of gives us, life kind of gives you what you need. You just gotta
Absolutely.
you just gotta know the difference between your needs and your wants.
Absolutely. But I think that also has a lot to do with being self-aware. And don't get me wrong. I think we're all human. No one is. I know we're all human, but no one is perfect. Um, and we can all get into a negative space. There are times where I will stop myself and be like, "Wait a minute. Okay, let me stop complaining. Hold on. Let's change the narrative right now." Instead of looking at the situation as the glass being half empty, let's look at it as being half full. What did you get accomplished? What would you like to get accomplished? What are the steps that you're going to take to accomplishing whatever you need to accomplish? And let's move forward like that because no one wants to. People always ask me, how are you feeling? I'm doing okay. I'm good. No complaints. And they're like, oh, that's good. I'm happy to hear that. I said, besides, if I did have complaints, who would want to hear it? 9 times out of 10, we don't want to hear anyone's complaints. And I look at things like this. I want to know how we're going to resolve the problem because I'm going to be very honest with you. I only want to hear your complaint once. And after I hear your complaint, and I think you and I have these conversations often as well, both of us. It's like after I hear your complaint, okay, so what's the resolution? How are we going to resolve this? What are the steps that we're going to take to fix it? And I'm like that with everyone, with my kids, with my friends, with my family, even at work. you know okay, and okay, we're very aware of what the problem is. Okay, now what are the steps we're going to take to fix this, because it can be fixed. And I feel like you don't wallow in self-pity.
Mm.
That's not productive. So yes, I'm thankful for a lot. I'm thankful for breathing. I'm thankful for Thanksgiving. that I'll have time to spend with my family where I'm not working, I'm not sick, we're healthy, we're happy, we're happy to be around each other. We'll be able to talk, laugh, watch movies, play games, eat some good food. I'm very thankful
Kind
for
of,
that.
it's kind of crazy. You said something about Thanksgiving and eating, kind of like put me in a bad space because I told you after we do our show, I have to run to the store to get some water. I
Hmm.
can only imagine when I go in that store how it's going to be. But one of the things that I learned, and I'm not a person that particularly celebrates Thanksgiving, but I
Hmm.
appreciate the holiday and I appreciate family. And I understand why people celebrate it, and the need to celebrate it, definitely amongst Black Americans. And I always want to emphasize that when I do a show is different cultures and different nationalities look at holidays different.
Absolutely.
And one of the things for us is that family time, what we all went through during the pandemic, we missed out on. We
Right.
missed out on a lot of that congregation and being with family and friends. And we're just getting back. And we got to understand that it's not as easy emotionally, spiritually for everybody to just congregate because a lot of people went through a lot of sad times during the pandemic and to have everybody back together again. Some of us, like me, I'll be honest with you, I'm not used to being around a lot of people anymore.
Right.
Like me being around crowds is it takes a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So
I think we're all a
being
little skeptical because as soon as
yeah,
somebody coughs, I'm guilty of it. I'm looking like, what? Where's your mask? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Keep your cooties to yourself.
like which way did you cough? Did you cough like this? Did you do like this?
Exactly.
They changed. They
Exactly. I'm
changed it.
over
It
here
used to
like
be
the
like this.
Matrix. Like,
Now it's in
ooh.
the elbow. You got some hand sanitizer. And I think that, which is crazy because I think more people got hand sanitizer around them now more than ever.
Right.
But during this time of the year, you always see that people just have a lot of food, which
Hmm.
I think that for the most part, and I'm an eggnog drinker, which is crazy because it's so hard to get eggnog
I'm a
outside of
coquito
this.
drinker. I'm from the BX.
So
Coquito.
so outside of this time of the year, it's hard for me to get eggnog. So I
Right.
went to the store and they had soon as it came because they put eggnog on the shelf early because they start Thanksgiving stuff before the holiday, right?
Right.
So I see some eggnog, so I'm drinking my eggnog. I'm like, man, I miss this. So I say that to say that
Nostalgic.
even with now, like I've been to some congregational events lately
Okay.
in the summer, and I think that it was more about everybody being together
Right.
than just about just surplus of food and this, that, and third. I went to a baby shower
Right.
and it was awesome for me. I mean, I'm laid back anyway, personality wise, and I really had a good time. And I went to a gender reveal, had a good time at the park. And for me, it's been like, this is what it's about. Instead of like, some people be competing meals. Well, I'm gonna cook the turkey. Who's gonna do the fried turkey and burn their house down by trying to fry turkey? So,
who burned down Sheila's she shed, huh?
so for me, like, and I'm quite sure we share this together. It's being thankful for everything and especially the small things.
For sure. For
You know,
sure. And thankful for opportunities.
yeah,
I think a lot of opportunities have presented themselves for both of us recently, and I think that's awesome. I look forward to a new venture that we're going to be working on that we've been talking about.
I can't wait. I'll be honest with you because you mentioned it. We're not going to talk about what it is yet,
Nope.
but I can't wait because I it opens up a new chapter in our friendship.
Agreed.
And the reason why I say that is because I think you need me to push you in that area. I think in that area you'll be more receptive of me pushing you in that area. And then it's
Mhm.
like, Oh, really? Yeah, Nicole. That's what I gotta give her the eyes when she do that too. Because I think I need to really, really push you in that area. And you're allowing me to throw things at you, and then you're giving me the response that other people may have should have given me because I
Mhm.
don't know.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean? Sometimes we tend to, like I said earlier, we tend to assume, think, um,
right.
not try to understand. And I know if I say to you, be like, no, yes, this is what it is. This is what it is. So I look forward to
Don't
that.
worry,
And then,
Nicole. Stay tuned because we're gonna tap you.
oh yeah, yeah, definitely
Yeah.
with Nicole. Nicole. I'm thankful for Nicole. Nicole has been very supportive since day
I am
one.
absolutely thankful for Nicole. Thank you, Nicole. Yes. I'm
She
thankful for all of the networking, like I said, opportunities, all of the networking this platform has given myself and others that I know.
what's the funniest thing, right? The funniest thing, and I'm gonna mention the person's name. So for all of y'all that don't know, Nicole and Nick, right? I was never friends with Elliot on Facebook. No reason whatsoever.
Right.
Y'all know, I'm a firm believer. I don't sugarcoat nothing. Elliot would not be on the platform if I did not like him. I think Elliot's an awesome person.
I think
I
Elliot
think
is an awesome person.
me and Elliot had a chance to really conversate at this person's party last year.
Hmm.
And I
Hmm.
think he's super dope guy, super dope friend. But we just never was friends on Facebook. So no particular reason. So because of the network that you guys have in the poetry circle and through here,
Hmm.
Edwina did something at the spot where Elliot is at.
Okay.
So she tagged him, and I'm like, Elliot. And I'm like, we ain't friends yet. And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. So it's
Right.
like,
It's a small
realizing,
world.
realizing that bridge of friendship, realizing how you guys have always supported each other. And one thing I learned from the poetry circle is poets are very interesting um, artists. And I say they're artists, and I don't mean that as a slight. Artists are very interesting people.
Absolutely.
And having an artist and having friendships with artists is you would meet a lot of people. A lot of
Yeah.
people fall out. A lot of people ain't friends. A lot of people fall out for 6 months and then be friends again. You be like, what the hell's going on? And sometimes it comes from having that good competitive spirit, but not understanding it and not understanding like, yo, sometimes you just don't want to hear no artist. I want to know who the person is.
Right.
I
No,
want to know who you.
I
Yeah.
have to say I don't refriend friends. No, once it's done, it's done. I'll put a nail in it. Put a nail in that coffin and keep it pushing. I wish you be
Yeah.
blessed. Be blessed. I don't
So
refriend people.
so in moving in what you said is having that vision to be
Right,
able to be like, look, let's do this. It's an
right.
opportunity here. Let's try. Let's really, really try. Because
I think you should try to surround yourself with good people, with a great with great people who you can meet through networking opportunities, etc. But surround yourself with great people. There are enough bad people out here that you don't necessarily have to deal with. And there are many good people out here that you never get a chance to deal with or interact with because you're so busy fighting those battles with those bad people. No, life is too short,
yeah,
way too short.
yeah,
I try to surround myself with some pretty dope people, and I've met some pretty dope people in the last maybe 5 or 6 years, and I think that you guys are absolutely awesome, and I look forward to continuing to do things with Elliot, Nicole, Treasure, etc.
yeah. It was amazing when I did a show with a young with a poet. I was gonna call her a younger poet, but we're about the same age. She might be older than me, right? I did a show with her during Women's Month.
Mm-hmm.
And, I asked her about living poets and who inspires her. And the first three names she said was people I knew from the
That's
poetry circle. And I don't even know if they all knew each other, but it was
right.
different poets. One particular brother, he does poetry, and he does a different form of art, form of poetry. So
Okay.
it's a like I said, it's a different circle, and I love it. I don't even like to say poet. I'll just say artist, because if you understand what each poet does and what they bring to the table, is truly art.
Right. Indeed.
So like you said, just understanding, having that appreciation and thankfulness for those relationships, and understanding the journey that life has intertwined you and them.
Absolutely.
It's like that windy road that you're
Absolutely.
on. Now y'all journeys is together, and you don't know if it's gonna separate, but you gotta enjoy the moment, enjoy and embellish it, and just live it. Be like I said, be where your 2 feet is at. Don't try to think too ahead, and just, all right, I'm gonna plan this, be strategic, be intentional. Let's do this. But really, really appreciate that, and appreciate you. Thankful for everything that you've done for me. Those headphones is nice.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
They make your ears sweat.
No, they actually don't. They keep your ears warm.
What kind of headphones are those?
uh,
What kind of headphones are those?
I these are my son's headphones.
Really nice. Let me know the names. Send me the link.
I
I want.
will. I will.
They have
I
a
will.
microphone on them, or they just straight headphones?
No, they don't have. No, they don't have a mic in them. They're connected to the mic though. But
Okay.
yeah, they're awesome
Okay.
headphones.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I will
So
definitely send you the information.
please do. Any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. I'm thankful for the audience. I'm thankful for this platform. I am extremely thankful for the people that keep rocking with us. I know that there have been several comments and inboxes that I've received, that you've received, asking about conversations with friends and whether or not we were coming back on. And yeah, as of right now, we're here to stay. And again, we're looking forward to new ventures as well. Um, Thankful for you, Q.
With that, with all that, we're gonna close out. We should be back soon, probably in the next 2 or 3 weeks. One thing, conversations with friends, is that we want to do our show every other week, but like we say, life happens, and this is one of the things. And I'm not trying to be funny when I say this. This is why you should always subscribe to the channel.
Indeed.
Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, so you get the notifications for when we do pop up. It might just be a random pop up, and you might see us live somewhere together. And we may just decide to do a show right there. Like, we may be battling with a question, or battling about how we view these celebrities do their crazy stuff. And we might just want everybody that appreciates us and supports us to give us their perspective.
Indeed.
So
Yeah.
with that, everybody take care and have a blessed night.